As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the quiet town, Mia sat on her porch, staring at the sky. The stars began to twinkle, each one a distant reminder of the person she missed the most, her best friend, Jake. Just a few months ago, they were inseparable, sharing laughter, secrets, and dreams. But now, with Jake having moved across the country, Mia felt a growing distance that seemed impossible to bridge. Every day felt heavy with his absence. Mia often found herself lost in memories of their adventures climbing trees, riding bikes, and spending late nights talking about everything and nothing. The moments they shared were like stars in her mind, bright and beautiful, but now far away. She missed his infectious laughter and the way he always knew how to make her smile dot as the night deepened. Mia felt a familiar ache in her heart. She picked up her phone, glancing at Jake's number, feeling both hopeful and hesitant. What if he didn't want to talk? What if he had moved on without her? The fear of rejection held her back, but the longing to reconnect was stronger. Determined, she finally pressed the call button, her heart racing as it rang. After a few moments that felt like an eternity, she heard his voice. "Mia, is that you?" Jake sounded surprised, but happy. "Hey, Jake. I wanted to check in," she said, trying to keep her voice steady. "I'm glad you called." "I've missed you," he replied, and a warmth spread through her. "I miss you too." "It's not the same without you here," Mia admitted, her heart lifting a little. They talked for hours, sharing stories about their new lives. Jake told her about his new school, his new friends, and the exciting places he had explored. Mia listened, feeling a mix of happiness for him and sadness for herself. She wanted to be part of his adventures, to share new memories, but the distance felt like an insurmountable wall. "I wish you could come visit," Jake said, breaking through. Her thoughts. "We could do all the things we used to do." "I wish that too," Mia replied, her voice barely above a whisper. After hanging up, Mia felt a spark of hope. Even though they were far apart, their bond hadn't disappeared. She decided she wouldn't let the distance keep them apart. She needed to find a way to keep their connection alive. The next day, Mia came up with an idea. She would write Jake a letter, a real letter, not just a text or a call. She wanted to share her thoughts, her dreams, and her everyday life. It felt more personal, like she was reaching out across the miles. Sitting at her desk, she carefully wrote down her feelings, pouring her heart into every sentence. "Dear Jake," she began, "I miss you more than I can say. Life feels different without you here. I've been thinking about our adventures and how much fun we had. I hope you're having a great time in your new place, but I want you to know that I'm always here, cheering you on." As she wrote, Mia felt lighter, as if each word pulled her closer to Jake. She shared stories about her days, her dreams for the future, and even the little things she hoped they could do together again one day. Once she finished, she sealed the letter in an envelope and addressed it. It felt like a piece of her heart was traveling to him, crossing the distance that had grown between them. She couldn't wait for him to read it, to feel her presence even from afar. Days turned into weeks, and Mia eagerly awaited a response. She checked the mailbox every day, her heart racing with anticipation. Finally, one afternoon, she saw a familiar handwriting on an envelope. Jake had written back. "Dear Mia," he began, "I was so happy to get your letter. It felt like you were right here with me. I miss you too, and I think about our adventures all the time. Let's keep writing to each other. It makes the distance feel a little smaller." Mia felt a rush of joy. They had found a way to reconnect, to bridge the gap that distance had created. From that day on, they exchanged letters regularly, sharing their lives, dreams, and hopes. Each letter was like a little piece of light, illuminating the darkness of their separation. As the months passed, Mia learned to embrace the distance rather than fear it. She discovered new hobbies, made new friends, and found ways to enjoy her own life while keeping Jake close in her heart. She realized that even though they were apart, their friendship was strong enough to survive. One evening, as she sat under the stars, Mia felt a sense of peace. The night sky, once a reminder of her loneliness, now felt like a canvas of possibilities. She knew she would see Jake again, and until that day came, they would continue to share their lives through words as dawn broke. Painting the sky with hues of orange and pink, Mia smiled, feeling empowered. No longer did she feel like a survivor of loneliness. Instead, she felt like a conqueror of her own heart. The distance that once seemed daunting transformed into a journey of connection. In that moment, she understood the true essence of their friendship. It wasn't about physical proximity. It was about the love and support they shared, no matter how far apart they were. Just like on Death Planet, she thought, I've faced the darkness and come out stronger. With renewed hope, Mia looked forward to the future, ready to embrace whatever challenges lay ahead. She knew that, by dawn, she would conquer the night, just as she had conquered her fears. The weeks turned into months, and Mia found herself growing accustomed to her new routine. The letters exchanged with Jake became her lifeline. They were filled with stories about school, new friends, and even the challenges they faced. Each letter brought a sense of connection, but Mia still felt a deep ache in her heart. She longed for the days when they could hang out in person, not just through words on a page. One evening, as Mia finished reading Jake's latest letter, she noticed the familiar pang of loneliness creeping back. He had written about a camping trip he took with his new friends, and while she was happy for him, it reminded her of the countless camping trips they had shared. Sitting by a campfire, roasting marshmallows, and telling ghost stories under the stars felt like a world away. Sighed and put the letter down. I wish I could be there with you, she whispered to the empty room. The distance seemed to stretch endlessly, making her feel small and lost. She wanted to reach out to bridge the gap between them, but how could she do that when they were so far apart? Feeling restless, Mia grabbed her backpack and headed outside. The night was clear, and the stars sparkled like diamonds in the sky. She sat on the grass, looking up at the constellations, feeling a connection to Jake through the universe. It was as if each star represented a memory they shared, shining brightly even from far away. As she gazed at the stars, an idea sparked in her mind. What if she planned a surprise visit to Jake? She thought about how much fun they would have, reliving their adventures and creating new memories. The thought filled her with excitement, but a wave of doubt quickly followed. What if he didn't want her to visit? What if he had moved on completely? Mia shook her head, pushing those thoughts aside. I can't let fear stop me, she said. Aloud, with a newfound determination, she decided to make a plan. She would save up money for a ticket and surprise him. It would take time, but she was willing to do whatever it took to reconnect. Over the next few weeks, Mia focused on her goal. She took on extra chores around the house, mowed lawns for neighbors, and even sold homemade cookies at a local fair. Every dollar she earned brought her one step closer to her dream of seeing Jake again. The thought of their reunion kept her motivated, and she felt a sense of purpose she hadn't felt in a long time. As she worked, Mia continued to write letters to Jake, sharing her progress and her excitement about the surprise. She wrote about her plans, her hopes, and how much she missed him. Each letter was filled with love and anticipation, and she could feel their bond growing stronger, even from a distance. Finally, after weeks of hard work, Mia had enough money for a plane ticket. She could hardly believe it. With a mix of excitement and nervousness, she booked her flight for the following month. Now, All she had to do was keep it a secret. The thought of seeing Jake's face when she surprised him filled her with joy. The day of her trip approached. Mia felt a mix of emotions: excitement, nervousness, and a little bit of fear. What if things were different when she saw him? What if he had changed, or worse, what if he didn't want to be friends anymore? But deep down, she knew she had to take the leap. Their friendship had survived the distance so far. It could survive anything. The night before her flight, Mia could hardly sleep. She packed her bag carefully, making sure to include her favorite photo of them from their last camping trip. It was a reminder of the joy they shared and the bond that had kept them connected through the distance. On the day of the trip, Mia woke up early, her heart racing with anticipation. She felt like she was about to embark on an adventure more thrilling than any she had experienced. After saying goodbye to her family, she headed to the airport, filled with hope and determination. She arrived at Jake's town. Her excitement grew. She took a taxi to his neighborhood, her heart pounding with every passing moment. As she approached his house, she felt butterflies in her stomach. What would she say? How would he react? Mia took a deep breath and stepped out of the taxi. She stood in front of his house, taking a moment to gather her thoughts. Then, with a mix of excitement and fear, she walked up to the door and knocked. The sound echoed in her ears as she waited, her heart racing. After a few moments, the door swung open, and there stood. The days flew by in a whirlwind of laughter and memories as Mia and Jake rekindled their friendship. It felt as if the distance that had separated them for so long had simply vanished. They spent every moment they could together, exploring the town, revisiting favorite spots, and creating new adventures. Each day was a reminder of the bond they shared, one that distance had only strengthened. One afternoon, while sitting on the swings at their old playground, Mia turned to Jake, her heart full of gratitude. "I can't believe I almost let fear keep me from coming here," she said. "Seeing you again is everything I hoped for." Jake smiled, pushing himself gently on the swing. "I'm so glad you came. It's like no time has passed. You're still the same Mia I know and love." Mia felt a warm glow at his words. But beneath her happiness, she still worried about how their lives would change when she returned home. Would they go back to just letters and phone calls? Would the distance seep back in, making her feel alone again? That evening, as they sat on the roof of Jake's house, watching the stars twinkle above, Mia's thoughts turned heavy. "Jake, what happens when I go back home?" she asked quietly. "I don't want to lose this connection again." Jake looked thoughtful. "I've been thinking about that too. I don't want to lose you either. Maybe we can make a plan to stay close, no matter the distance." Mia felt a spark of hope. "What if we set a schedule for video calls? We can talk every week and do things together, even if we're far apart. We could watch movies or play games online." "I love that idea," Jake exclaimed, his eyes lighting up. "We can even set challenges for each other. Like if I finish a book, I'll send you a review, and you can do the same." Mia laughed, imagining the fun they would have, "and we can plan visits. I could come back during holidays, and maybe you can visit me too." "Definitely. I can't wait to show you my new favorite places," Jake said, his enthusiasm infectious. With their plans in place, Mia felt a weight lift off her shoulders. They could conquer this distance together, just like they had conquered the fears that had kept them apart in the first place. As the days went by, their bond deepened. They took pictures together, made silly videos, and filled their time with laughter. Mia felt her heart swell with joy, knowing that even when she returned home, they would continue to be a part of each other's lives. But as the last day of her visit approached, Mia couldn't shake the sadness that crept in. She had loved every moment spent with Jake, and now she had to leave. That morning, she woke up early, feeling the weight of her impending departure. She decided to write Jake a letter, just like the ones they had exchanged before. Sitting at the kitchen table, she poured her heart into the letter, expressing her feelings and hopes for their future. She wrote about how much their friendship meant to her, and how she was determined to keep it strong, no matter the distance. When she finished, she folded the letter and slipped it into an envelope. She planned to give it to him later that day, hoping it would reassure him of her commitment to their friendship. Later, as they sat together on the swings one last time, Mia took a deep breath and handed him the envelope. "I wrote you something," she said. Her voice shaky. Jake took the envelope, looking curious. "What's this?" "Just read it later," she replied, her heart pounding. "I wanted you to know how much you mean to me." He nodded and tucked the letter into his pocket. "I'll read it when I get home. Thank you for everything, Mia. This visit has meant the world to me." Mia smiled, though her heart felt heavy. She wanted to hold on to this moment forever, but she knew she had to let him go. They spent the rest of the day together, making the most of their time. They visited their favorite ice cream shop, walked through the park, and even climbed the hill where they used to have their secret hideouts. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with shades of orange and pink, Mia felt tears welling up in her eyes. She didn't want to say goodbye. They found a quiet spot on the hill and sat together, looking out at the horizon. "Promise me we'll always stay friends," Mia said, her voice barely above a whisper. "Always," Jake replied, reaching for her hand. "No matter what, we'll find a way. We're stronger than distance." Mia felt a rush of warmth at his words. They shared stories and laughter, trying to ignore the sadness that loomed over them. But as the sun dipped below the horizon, Mia knew their time was running out. Finally, it was time to go. They stood at the front door of Jake's house, both feeling the weight of the moment. Mia turned to him, her heart aching. "I'm really going to miss you, Jake." "I'll miss you too, Mia. But remember, we have our plans. We'll keep in touch, and I'll always be just a call away," he said, his eyes shining with determination. With one last hug, they held each other tightly, wishing they could stay in that moment forever. As Mia turned to leave, she glanced back at Jake one last time. He waved, a smile on his face, but she could see the sadness in his eyes too. The journey home felt long and lonely. Mia stared out the window, watching the scenery blur by, her heart heavy with the weight of separation. But deep down, she held on to the hope they had created together, the hope of staying connected and the promise of future visits. When she finally got home, Mia immediately pulled out her phone and set reminders for their weekly video calls. She was determined to keep her promise to Jake, to overcome the distance that had once felt so daunting. As the days turned into weeks, Mia and Jake kept their commitment. They called each other every Sunday, sharing stories about their weeks and supporting each other through challenges. They played games online, watched movies together, and even started a book club just for fun. Mia felt her heart swell with happiness. The distance that had once felt like a dark cloud hovering over her life now seemed like a challenge they could conquer together. Their friendship flourished, fueled by their determination to stay connected. One evening, while they were on a video call, Jake surprised her with a special announcement. "Guess what? I'm coming to visit you for the winter holidays," he said excitedly. Mia's eyes widened in disbelief. "Really? That's amazing. Yeah. I can't wait to see you and explore your town together," Jake replied, grinning. "We'll make new memories, just like old times." In that moment, Mia realized that their friendship had not only survived the distance, it had thrived. They had conquered their fears and uncertainties, proving that true connections could withstand anything. As she looked into Jake's smiling face, Mia felt a sense of hope and joy. They might have started as two friends separated by miles, but they had become conquerors of the darkness that distance had created. With their determination and love, they had transformed their friendship into something that would shine brightly, no matter how far apart they were. And as dawn approached in Mia's heart, she knew they would face whatever challenges lay ahead. Together, proving that no one truly survives a night alone together. They would conquer it all. Asterisk, as the winter holidays approached, Mia felt a mix of excitement and nerves. Jake was coming to visit, and she could hardly wait to see him again. They had spent months planning their calls and sharing experiences, but nothing could compare to being together in person. She wanted everything to be perfect for his visit. Mia spent the days leading up to Jake's arrival preparing her home. She decorated her room with twinkling lights, hung up photos of their past adventures, and even baked cookies, filling the house with the sweet smell of chocolate. Every detail mattered to her because she wanted Jake to feel welcomed and loved. On the day Jake was set to arrive, Mia woke up early, her heart racing with anticipation. She checked the time constantly, counting down the hours until she would see him. Finally, the moment came she heard the sound of a car pulling up outside. With a pounding heart, she rushed to the door. When she opened it, Jake stood there, grinning from ear to ear. "Mia!" he exclaimed, stepping forward to give her a warm hug. The moment felt magical, as if no time had passed since their last. "Goodbye. Welcome back," Mia said, stepping back to take a good look at him. He looked a bit taller and more confident, but his smile was just as warm as she remembered. "I'm so happy to be here," Jake said, his eyes sparkling. "Let's make the most of this visit." They spent the first day catching up, laughing, and reminiscing about old times. Mia showed Jake around her town, introducing him to her family and friends. They visited the local ice skating rink, where they fell and laughed together, just like they used to. The joy of being together filled Mia's heart with warmth, pushing away any lingering fear of distance. As the days passed, they created new memories, building snowmen, having snowball fights, and even attempting to bake a cake that ended up being a hilarious disaster. Each moment was filled with laughter, and Mia felt grateful for their friendship. But as the holiday break went on, she couldn't shake the feeling that this time together was fleeting. One evening, as they sat by the fireplace, sipping hot cocoa, Mia looked at Jake, a serious expression on her face. "Jake, I've loved having you here, but I keep thinking, what happens when the holidays are over? I don't want to go back to just letters and video calls." Jake nodded, understanding her concern. "I've been thinking about that too. It's easy to feel connected when we're together, but the distance will come back. We need a plan to keep our friendship strong." Mia felt a sense of relief that he shared her feelings. "What if we set?" After Jake returned home, Mia felt a strange emptiness in her heart. They had spent such an amazing time together, and now the joy seemed to fade into the background. The days passed slowly, each one a reminder of the distance between them. But she was determined to keep their friendship alive, just as they had promised. Mia and Jake kept up their video calls every Sunday, and they worked on their blog, Adventures Across the Miles. Each week, they shared stories, photos, and challenges they had set for each other. The blog became a space for them to express their thoughts and creativity, but Mia still felt a twinge of sadness each time they hung up the call. One Sunday, Mia noticed that Jake seemed quieter than usual during their video chat. "Are you okay?" she asked, concern filling her voice. Jake sighed, running a hand through his hair. "I've just been feeling a little lost lately. School is tough, and I miss hanging out with you. It's hard to adjust back to normal life." Mia's heart sank. She understood exactly how he felt. "I miss you too," she said softly. "But we have our blog and our calls. We're still connected, right?" "Yeah, But it's not the same as being together, Jake replied, his voice heavy with emotion. Sometimes I worry that our friendship won't last. Mia felt a wave of determination wash over her. No way. We've come too far to let distance win. Let's make a pact to do something bold together. Something that will remind us of our connection. Jake looked intrigued. What do you have in mind? What if we take on a big challenge together? We could choose a goal, maybe a fitness challenge or a creative project, and document our progress on the blog. It would give us something to work on together, even if we're apart. I love that idea. What kind of challenge should we do? Jake asked, his eyes lighting up. After brainstorming, they decided on a 30-day fitness challenge. They would each set fitness goals, share their progress, and encourage each other along the way. Mia felt excited at the thought of working together on something that would strengthen their bond. The next day, Mia created a detailed plan for their challenge. She set her goal to run a mile every day and invited Jake to do the same. They would check in with each other daily, sharing tips, struggles, and victories. The challenge would not only keep them connected, but also help them grow individually. As the 30-day challenge began, Mia felt a new energy in her life. She started her mornings with a run, pushing herself to improve each day. Every time she laced up her running shoes, she thought of Jake and how they were supporting each other from afar. It made her feel stronger and more determined. Jake was also committed to the challenge. He sent her messages every day, sharing his progress and cheering her on. Day 5. I ran 1.5 miles today. You're doing great, Mia. Keep it up, he wrote. One afternoon, Mia smiled at his words, feeling motivated to keep going. They exchanged videos of their runs, laughing at each other's attempts to capture the perfect shot. The challenge brought them closer, and Mia felt a sense of hope growing within her. But as the days went by, challenges arose. Mia struggled. One afternoon, feeling tired and unmotivated, she texted Jake, I don't know if I can keep this up today. I feel so sluggish. Almost immediately, Jake replied, You've got this. Remember why we started. We're in this together. Just take a short run and see how you feel. With his encouragement, Mia pushed herself to go out for a short run. Even though it was tough, she felt accomplished afterward. Thanks for the pep talk. I did it. She texted back, her spirits lifting. As they continued their challenge, they also began to share more personal things. They talked about their dreams, fears, and the little moments that made their days brighter. Each conversation brought them closer, and they began to realize how much they had grown, both as individuals and as friends. Halfway through the challenge, Mia decided to surprise Jake with a special gift. She wanted to send him a care package filled with things that reminded her of their friendship. She gathered snacks, a handwritten letter, and even a small trophy she had made out of cardboard, declaring him best running buddy. When she sent the package, she felt a rush of excitement. She couldn't wait for him to receive it and see his reaction. She imagined him opening it and smiling at the trophy, remembering all the fun they had shared. A few days later, she received a video call from Jake. He looked thrilled as he held up the care package. Mia, this is amazing. I loved everything, especially the trophy. I'm using it as my motivation to keep going. Mia laughed, happy to see his enthusiasm. I'm so glad. I wanted you to know how much you mean to me. I really appreciate it. It's little things like this that keep me going. I've been feeling down lately, but your package made my day, Jake said, his voice sincere. As they continued their fitness challenge, Mia noticed that Jake seemed to be in a better mood. Their daily check-ins became a highlight of his day. They encouraged each other through tough times and celebrated their successes together. Toward the end of the 30 days, they planned a virtual celebration. They decided to have a video call where they would share their final results and accomplishments. The day of the celebration arrived, and Mia was filled with excitement. When they connected, both of them were smiling widely. "We did it!" Jake exclaimed. "I can't believe we completed the challenge." "I know. I ran a total of 30 miles this month," Mia said proudly. "What about you?" "I hit 40 miles. I pushed myself harder than I ever thought I could," Jake said. Beaming, they shared their experiences, their struggles, and how they had both grown stronger, not just physically but emotionally. Mia felt a sense of pride for both of them. They had conquered the challenge together, and it had brought them closer than ever. As they wrapped up the call, Mia felt a surge of hope. "We proved that distance can't stop us. No matter where we are, we can always find ways to connect and support each other." "Absolutely. I'm so grateful for this challenge, and for you," Jake replied. "Let's keep planning new adventures, even if they're virtual." Mia smiled, feeling inspired. "Together, we can conquer anything. Distance is just a challenge we can overcome." That night, as Mia lay in bed, she reflected on everything they had accomplished. She realized that they had faced the darkness of distance and emerged stronger. Their friendship had not only survived, it had flourished in ways she never imagined. With a heart full of hope, Mia drifted off to sleep, knowing that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they would face them together. They were not just friends. They were conquerors of distance, proving that true connections could shine brightly, even from across the miles. And with that thought, Mia smiled, ready for whatever adventures awaited them next. After the successful completion of their fitness challenge, Mia and Jake felt closer than ever. They had turned their struggles into triumphs and had built an even stronger friendship. But as the weeks passed, Mia felt a new sense of longing. Although they had established routines with their video calls and blog posts, she wanted to deepen their connection even further. One evening, while scrolling through social media, Mia stumbled upon a post about a virtual conference for young creators. It was all about building connections, sharing projects, and learning new skills. An idea sparked in her mind. What if we attended this together? She thought. It could be a unique way to bond and grow, even from different locations. Excited, she called Jake. "Hey, I found this virtual conference for creators. It's happening next month, and I think it would be perfect for us." Jake's voice lit up on the other end. "That sounds amazing. What's it about?" "It's all about sharing ideas and connecting with others who are passionate about projects like ours. We could learn new things and meet other creators." Mia explained, her enthusiasm evident. "I'm in. It could be a great way to bring our blog to the next level," Jake replied eagerly. "Let's sign up together." They quickly registered for the conference, and Mia felt a new wave of excitement wash over her. This would be their first time participating in something together that involved meeting new people and learning. It was another step in their journey. To strengthen their friendship, as the date of the conference approached, Mia spent her evenings preparing. She researched the speakers, planned questions to ask, and even created a list of goals for what they wanted to achieve. She wanted to make the most out of this opportunity. The day of the conference finally arrived. Mia set up her laptop in a cozy spot in her room, arranging her notes and snacks around her. When the video call began, she felt a mix of excitement and nerves. She hoped the experience would help them connect with others and inspire new ideas for their blog. Jake logged on a few minutes later, his face filling the screen. "Hey, Mia, ready for this?" he asked, his smile brightening her day. "Absolutely. Let's do this," she replied, her heart racing with anticipation. The conference started with a welcome message from the host, who encouraged everyone to engage, ask questions, and connect. Throughout the day, they attended various sessions, learning about different topics like photography, writing, and marketing. They took notes, shared thoughts, and discussed how they could apply what they learned to their own projects. During one of the sessions, a guest speaker shared their journey of overcoming challenges in the creative world. Mia felt inspired by their story and turned to Jake. "This is amazing. It reminds me of us, how we've faced distance and turned it into something positive."